Yeah, man, and welcome back. It's your boy Alfred once again, and today's video is entitled Never Go Back to Egypt and Continue to Your Promised Land. Never go back to Egypt and continue to your promised land. What do I mean? As we move towards our journey, the world that we're trying to create, our lifestyle and the life that we want to live, right? There will be urges and there will be also temptation to go back to the old ways, to your old ways, meaning that there'll be times of maybe boredom, maybe loneliness, maybe yearning, all those things, right? And the outcome of these things is that we yearn for the past. We yearn for what was. We yearn for things that gave us joy, gave us happiness. But unfortunately, the very things that we yearn for usually, they are things that are in the past. They were supposed to be there. We're done with them, right? We have already experienced them, right? We have already experienced these things. Now, that's the matter for the title, right? You've been in Egypt before. You've been to Egypt rather before, right? Now, what you're doing, you're supposed to be moving forward into your promised land. Now, if you still yearn for Egypt, right? If you still yearn for the good old days, right? It means that you're not over those days, but you're not ready for what's coming. You're not ready for your blessings, or if I may, or for the things that you're working for, right? You're not ready to receive those things. Now, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with reminiscing. There's nothing wrong with, enjoying and talking about the good old days. There's nothing wrong, like I said, reminiscing and thinking about those days. But you're not supposed to get stuck there and such that you feel like you need to go back there. Such that now you feel like you're not going to move towards your promised land, the promised land that you have promised yourself to move towards. You're not going to work towards that. You're not going to fight for your future, but you rather be in your comfort zone where things are familiar. That's where Egypt is, right? Things are familiar, no matter how bad they are, right? Usually, just a metaphoric, right? From the Bible, right? When the Israelis were leaving Egypt, right? It's because they were not satisfied there and they had been promised something better. And that's how we as man really have to promise ourselves, even if we do not subscribe to the Bible or anything like that, right? We have to promise ourselves, of course, with the aid of the Supreme, right? We need to promise ourselves that, hey, we can create a better future. Okay, now if you've already created your future and really there's nothing bugging you about that, you've already accomplished a lot of the things that you think you have accomplished, that's well and good. But for majority of people, right, we still have a long way to get to our promised land. We still have a very, very long way to go. But like I said, as we're moving towards our promised land, because it won't take a year, it won't even take 2 years. It'll take a great amount of work put in, and then this will accumulate over the years, right? But of course, for every man is different, by the way. It's different, but still, there are things that we have to bear in that journey. And this is why I entitled this that don't think of going back to Egypt, because when you're working through those unbearable moments of working to towards your promised land, that's when things come in, thoughts come in, right? That, man, I should maybe give up, or I should just go back to try and go back to the way things used to be. I should try and go and recreate situations that were actually recreate situations from the past, right? Now, like I said, there's nothing wrong with meeting up with people from your past, where you're going to chill, reminisce here and there. But you don't want to get stuck there. But that's why I see a lot of people getting stuck in that moment, in those phases, right? They go back to their old neighborhood, right? They go back to their old girlfriends, all right? They go back to their old ways, of doing things instead of embracing new ways of doing things, right? Going back to your ex, for example, that's simply going back to Egypt, right? It means that you have not yet created yourself enough or believed yourself enough to receive what is better than your ex, because the reason she's your ex means that she's from your past, right? It means that there was some conflict between you and her, sort, right? Or even if it was not a conflict, there were some differences. Now, there's one thing, right? Like if you're gonna sort them out, but really, do you need to go back to the same relationship over and over again? Why don't you recreate yourself the way you had promised yourself, and then move forward so that you can receive the new, right? A new type of relationship. But of course, this needs work. It needs work in the sense that you need to recreate yourself. You need to have made yourself into a better version of yourself so that you actually are able to receive the new, right? And that's where a lot of people get things wrong, and they go back to Egypt, go back to things that used to give them joy, right? But those are from the past. You want to recreate that? No, you don't want to recreate that. So continue working on your promised journey. Continue working towards what you have envisioned, your vision, right? Your mission, right? And like I said, it's not gonna be easy. It's never easy, right? Recreating yourself, creating that lifestyle, it's not easy, not at all, not for any man, right? However, as long as you're moving forward, as long as you're putting in the work, you're gonna see certain patterns. You're gonna see certain answers, and you're gonna get certain answers rather to everything that you are seeking out, right? But the moment you yearn for Egypt, the moment you yearn to go back to your past, the moment you yearn to recreate your past so that you think that that's how things should be, right? And then what you do is you betray your future, you betray your promised land, you betray yourself by not moving towards your promised land, and that's when things will actually go haywire, and then you have betrayed yourself such that you find yourself back into Egypt. Now, there's a reason you left Egypt. There's a reason the Supreme has put a vision in you, right? So when you leave Egypt, you go into the world that you are supposed to go into, the world that you have worked for, the world that, or the promised land that you had envisioned, right? So that you do not have to go to Egypt, because Egypt is a wasteland right now. Egypt is a place that it does not accept you. It does not like you, and that's why you flee from it. It did not. You have, to put it bluntly, right, or to put it in the best way, you have outgrown Egypt. That's what has happened. You have outgrown Egypt, and what is happening is that you now have to step into the new land. You have to step into your own promised land, that land that you have envisioned, right? So don't go back to Egypt, forget about Egypt, and move forward towards the promised land, right? Now, all this can be obtained, or you can accomplish this by actually putting in the work, planning out things, making sure that you are the best version of yourself. Like I said, I'm an advocate for self-improvement and self-development, right? In any form, right? Especially in things that you are good at, that will help you and give you leverage. That's the best thing you can do. make sure that you're working on the things, your strength, that will give you leverage, so that you walk into your promised land, and once you enter your promised land, there are no surprises, right? And besides that, this is what you've envisioned, so it means that you'll be comfortable there, right? You'll be comfortable in the manner that you become that man that you have envisioned. Now you've stepped into that place that you had worked for, or you had journeyed for, right? So there's no need. I'm here to tell you that there's really no need to go back to Egypt. There's no need to go back to the wasteland. There's no need to think of the past and yearn for it, and there's no need to go back there and say, no, I'm going to give up on my future and stay here. Then what you've done is being disloyal to your future, disloyal to yourself, and betray yourself. Never betray yourself. You're going to regret it. Anyone who betrays themselves in any way or form, you're going to regret it. You rather struggle as much as you can. Go through the struggle, go through the hurt, go through the cold nights, go through the coldest of winter, go through the desert, right, and betray yourself, man. Because we're meant to survive as men, right? We were meant to survive. We're built to survive. Now, if you excuse me, I don't know what the hell that is, but it's a leaf. It's of course it's now freaking autumn here, so obviously leaves will be falling, right? So anyway, like I was saying, man, you really don't want to betray yourself. Why? Because if you become stagnant, stay where you are, or go back to Egypt, metaphorically speaking, right? You're gonna die slowly. You're gonna die slowly. You're gonna wither out, and you'll never be content, right? Because you constantly that promised land is constantly be knocking in your subconscious, in you, telling you like you should have done this. At least you should have tried it, right? So don't give up. It's nothing wrong with falling back a bit. Nothing wrong with recouping, right? Like nothing wrong with like chilling, and then right after that you get back into the races. Like I usually say, get back to the races, even stronger, and you get harder. You go harder. Remember by then, because you've already gone through things. You've already gone through the desert, the storms. You've gone through the cold nights, the cold winters. It means that you're wiser and seasoned. Right, and once you're wiser and seasoned, it means that you're equipped, you're very much equipped, right, to go through hell, right, so that you get to your promised land, right. Remember, man, you can't get to your promised land just like that in a snap, man. If it was that easy, man, then there won't be any struggles. And first of all, it wouldn't be worth it. I mean, why would you just walk there and then things are kosher, things are smooth? No, man. Just like this, the saying goes, man. A smooth sea never makes a competent sailor, right? In order to be a competent sailor, you need to go through the rough seas. So I think that was very much understood, man. It's been your boy Alfred here. Until next time, peace.